What is up, Dream Team? Another day of 100 push-ups. I am super sick, but we'll still get to it. Okay, I'm super sick, so here we go.
This is something that I've actually relied on a little bit myself. Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win. And this relates to another one, which is a reminder for the gladiators in the arena who feel beat up and scarred with no hope in sight. Building a business is hard. Hard feels shitty. This is what hard feels like. And this is why most people can't do it. But you can. This is what hard feels like. Is so fucking nice to lean on. It is so nice to lean on. Take me through that low point stuff.
There's actually a story. I'm gonna just want to tell it. So I was way back in my day, like you, a party promoter, but I was in a fraternity, so I was president of the fraternity. This was and this was my first semester being president. And so you have a pledge class. You get two pledge classes as a president. You get a fall and a spring. And that's your tenure, and then another president comes in. And what we knew, and this would be really interesting for the audience from a human being perspective, is that like clockwork, every time we started a new pledge class, within 14 days, 10 to 14, it was like clockwork. They would all get together and they'd revolt. They'd say, we don't want to do it anymore. This isn't what we signed up for. This is way fucking harder than we thought it was going to be. Like, we thought we were just going to party with you guys. Like, that's what we expected. Which also shows you how long it takes people to adapt or acclimate to a significantly more difficult situation, right? I'll tell you what happens after, and then I'll tell you what happened in between. After we have this kind of talk that we had, and I'll tell you how I explained it when I was president, all of a sudden, it all vanishes. Because their expectations of reality have completely reset. We break reality. Like in the first 10 to 14 days, it's so painful for them because it's such a contrast from what we have just doing. Not the fun stuff.
What's not fun?
Oh my god! I mean, they can't drink, can't talk to girls. The only people they could talk to are brothers or each other, and they're really mean to them. So they could really only talk to each other. And the whole point here is that we're trying to get them close together because there's a bunch of dudes who don't know each other from different parts of the campus, right? And we have to get them in 8 to 12 weeks to leave as one unit of people who know everything about one another, that trust one another, that know everything about the other people in the house. So it's like, how do you do that? Well, there's only X amount of communication you can have every day. So let's cut out anybody who's not us. Okay? And then if we really want them to be close together, we'll also reinforce that we're mean. But part of what they had to do is they had to learn everything about everyone else in the house. And so every pledge has to do something that would impress a brother. And then they get a signature from the brother being like, I approve of you. And you have to get every single brother's signature by the time you're done. Right? And so that's where each of those side quests become as insane as you might imagine, right? And there's lots of, there was lots of hazing back in the day, which is not fun, and, a lot of sleepless nights and things like that. And then from like partying with girls, feeling like you're top of the world, all these brothers feeding you drinks, being like, you're awesome, dude, to then like the next day, and this is literally how it happens. This is how the break in reality happens. We do this huge party to like launch the new class, and the next morning they all wake up, they all sleep at the house because that's one of the requirements, and they're all hungover, got their ties, like vomit in the corner, whatever. And we're like, great, clean it up. And they're like, what? Because up to this point, they haven't cleaned after a party. Because all they did is got to the party, see the girls, and then leave. But then all of a sudden, they're like mopping bottom in the corner, and they're hungover, and they feel terrible. And they're like, what the fuck? This is what I signed up for, right? So anyways, 2 weeks of this, they get together, and they wanted me to meet them. And this always happens because they want to meet on their turf. And I'm like, all right, guys, what's up? And so it's just me, all right, and my vice president, and 45 guys. So there's like a size comparison, like just animalistically, there's way more than there is of me. And so I just asked them a couple questions. I was like, who here before pledging started was like, I want to be a part of this house? The guys were like, me, okay, got it. Who here thought it was going to be easy? Who here thought it would be hard? They raised their hands. I'm like, guys, this is what hard feels like. And all of a sudden, there's just like this big exhale in the room. They're like, expectations get reset. This is normal. You wanted this thing. You expected it to be hard. Reality now matches conditions. Sorry, expectations now match conditions. This is what hard feels like. And then all of a sudden, it's like they got permission to feel shitty. And by getting permission to feel shitty, they stop feeling shitty. Because they're like, this is just my new world. And so then you're like, listen, You give 8 weeks, you're going to get 3.5 years. Other people are going to drive you around late at night. Other people are going to clean after you. Like, it's a good investment, right? And that it was a good deal. Like, you give one semester and you get the rest of them to just do whatever you want. But that concept, like that quote on both of those, came from that experience of having someone tell me, this is what hard feels like.
This is when most people stop, and this is why they don't win. It's also another beautiful bit of motivation, and given that I spent a little bit of time with Goggins and Cam Haynes, two guys, I was telling you about this before, you said it must be nice as we walked in. So Cameron Haynes, bowhunter extraordinaire, lives in Oregon, and he has, behind the power rack in his garage when he lifts, he has "must be nice" written. And I was like, why have you got that put up on there? And he was like, it's because everyone says "must be nice to be you, Cam. Must be nice to be sponsored by Hoyt and all of these like top level bow things and go on Rogan." He was there was a video that went super viral of Goggins losing his shit after John Jones won last weekend, and the guy that he's talking is Cam. So it's like, it must be nice for you to be backstage at UFC, it must be nice for this. And I've seen what that guy does, and that guy picks up a rock that weighs about 80 pounds, and it's got the word poser written on the front of it because people call him a poser, and he carries it up a hill that is maybe like 1,000 foot of elevation, 1.5 miles high, with no fanfare at the end, no finish line, doesn't post it on social media unless the team's there filming it with someone else, and then carries it back down, puts it in the boot of his Raptor, drives away. And he just does that because he needs to remind himself that he's doing the stuff that is hard. And this is why most people stop, and this is why they don't win, combined with this is what hard feels like, justifies things being hard. Now, I do worry, and I find this myself sometimes as well, that you can be so good at dealing with suffering, you can actually push yourself a little bit too far. You go, I'm starting to bear more burden than I can basically take on. And the art of not burning out is something that I think a lot of people, if this resonates with you, the art of not burning out is something that you really, really need to be able to feel. And like realizing what happens when you just start to glance off the bottom side of it and go, okay, like, I'm just going to ease off the gas. I need to take this afternoon to go sauna and get some sunshine and chill out and get some food, and then I can put my foot back on maybe a little bit tomorrow and we'll temper it. But it justifies the fact that I use this stat all the time. 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3, and of the 90%, the 10% that do, 90% don't make it past episode 20. So by making 21 podcasts, you're in the top percentile of all podcasters ever in history. That's what hard feels like. And that's not even hard, it's just consistent. Fuck me, it's less than half a year.
Yeah.
Insane.
I hear stats like that and I just think, man, it is so easy to win. Like that, I mean, like when I hear that, that's exactly what I think. I'm just like, man, for everyone who's like struggling to win, it's like, most of the pain that people experience is purely in their own minds.
We'll get back to talking to Alex in 1 second, but first I need to tell you about HubSpot. 28% of some people's weeks are spent reading, deleting, and sorting.
Okay. That's an 80, baby. I don't think I've sweated this much during push-ups, but I think it's because I'm sick. So let's bust out this other 10. Let's go.
/modern wisdom. That's clickhubspot.com/modern wisdom to download your free email template today. What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.
Do it for you, do it for me, do it for we, the People Dream Team. Let's go.